Greetings, Dapplings, and welcome back to Keeper Roguelike. And look at that, our Darth Raptor Dragon. I've named this one so I can easily keep track of it. Welcome, Darth Raptor. You are Aavak the Keeper's faithful steed, and long may you live in this lair. Now, we are in the process of building more dragons. In fact, we've got 2 more down here right now. Have we got enough to make the last? This one is waiting. They take a long time to make because our poor vampire noble gets very depressed after making each and every one of them. I mean, I sort of understand they're going to go on, leave him all alone later on. He makes them, he sends them off to war, and then they don't come back. Sometimes because, you know, he just can't see them, but mostly because they die. And on that note, the very first thing we're going to do. Now, I know that obviously it takes a lot of effort to make some of the larger undead, especially in terms of training time. If I train a bunch of vampire warriors, it can take ages for them to get to their max levels. And the amount of corpses involved in making a skeletal king. But ultimately, with a bandit farm and a rat farm, I have infinite production capabilities for, or rather production potential for Skeleton Kings. By the way, I have checked out the wiki because I didn't want to use a load of body parts on a zombie king and then only find out that unfortunately it doesn't do what I want and it doesn't equip things. First and foremost, one of our Skeleton Kings had a bunch of arms, so that's one comment that was actually put forward, is that, well, they can't equip things because they haven't got arms. They did have arms, or rather the other one had arms, and still couldn't equip anything. This is just the way that Skeleton Kings and Zombie Kings are. And again, Zombie Kings. I did check up about that. Also, from what I can tell, a Zombie King is basically, while it's got a slight improvement in some stats, in that it has got 5 extra defense and 5 extra combat damage. Really, when you're dealing with things that will regularly have around about 100 of both, as standard if you use all of the body parts, that doesn't really make any difference. But being a zombie means they are slow and they are vulnerable to sunlight. Things that the Skeleton King just doesn't have to worry about. So Skeleton King, to me, is objectively the better of the two. And so we're just going to stick with that for now. We'll be making Skeleton Kings. And in that regard, again, all we need are corpses and bones. We basically have the means to produce those infinitely on our map. The bandits and, of course, the rats. And we will actually be addressing the speed at which we're producing the rats in a moment. But even with Vampire Warriors, even with Skeleton Kings, it just takes time. Dragons take something very specific. Something which on many maps there is an incredibly limited amount of. We have only been able to make these dragons because we raided another keeper. So we have had effectively 2 entire campaigns worth of dragon bits. Potentially 3. I mean, I'm not entirely sure where all of the dragon bits came from. But yeah, so I think, provided that we can make them do it, please tell me you can, yes we can, we're going to have the dragons use phylacteries. This is a 100%. So, on that note, let's go down and start preparing an area for all of these phylacteries. We're going to obviously want it to be a 3x3, and, well, actually a little bit larger than that. We want it to be nice and chunky so that we can have these phylacteries in position. Now, currently, I think we're going to end up with... We've got 4 dragons right now, and there is 1 more that we can make. So with that, we're going to need 5 phylacteries just for the bone dragons. The dragon will eventually be made. So with that in mind, and since Aavak's already got one, we'll have 1 phylactery, 5 phylacteries, so these will easily cover it, and it'll leave us with 3 extra. That will afford us the ability to, for example, Evil Friend. We'll give Evil Friend a phylactery, I think. Evil Friend has definitely earned it. Been the general of our armies for quite some time. So we'll pop Evil Friend's phylactery up there. Perhaps get a couple then for vampires who are going to be riding the dragons. Because I have decided, since the Juggernauts obviously can't ride dragons, we're going to have the vampire warriors ride dragons. So if we prepare 4 phylacteries for them as well. whilst I don't necessarily need them, and I might not build them because they are actually incredibly expensive to make. They're 500 gold per, but we will allow for room for it. In fact, you know what? We're going to expand this all the way down and prepare for the future of the layer. With that in mind, actually maybe in the center, perhaps around here, we'll have something a little bit different. Maybe some sort of nice area there. In fact, let's make that a little bit larger. Some sort of, we can have some phylacteries along the sides, maybe a big fountain in the middle. I think that would actually be quite nice indeed. And in fact, at this point, this pattern is now complete. Oh, that is wonderful. It's not quite centered though. No, we're gonna go with it. If that melts your brain, I apologize, and also I understand. It kind of melts mine a little bit too. But that is going to be our area for the phylacteries. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to want some vampire warriors for that, but we're going to make very specific vampire warriors for this one. Hopefully, you will stop being depressed soon, and we'll finish the dragon. Now, here's a very important note for future keepers. Please understand that when it comes to building dragons, they can only be made with dragon bone. Every other thing, though, can be made with any bone. And because they can be made with any bone, they can also be made with dragon bone. So once you get dragon bone, my recommendation is, if you don't intend to use it immediately, because you can't, create a vault that isn't a storeroom, so isn't a grave, and isn't a resource deposit, and put the dragon's bones in there and then seal it off. Either that, or just don't make any more dragons from that point moving forward. Because otherwise, you might well end up using the dragon bone to make, I don't know, a skeletal dog. And whilst the bony boys here are the only minions in the entire place that get automatically named, and thus that shows how important they are. I would understand if you were a little bit disappointed if you ended up using the dragon bones to make a skeletal wolf instead of, a dragon, because you can't kill the skeletal wolf and then get a dragon bone back. I'm fairly certain you'll just get a bone, and also you'll go straight to hell because you just killed a bony boy for something as trivial as wanting a dragon, you monster. Right, now on that note, we've got some more armor that we can make. I'm not really sure that we're going to go for that one, though. Aavak the Keeper has donned his armor, which I'm extremely happy about. Let's go down to the poetry room. If we have a look at this armor, it's of poison resistance, but it's red dragon scale armor of poison resistance. So it's giving 2 spell damage, 13 defense, but it's giving fire resistance because it's red dragon scale mail. And also, because we put the poison resistance glyph in there, it's also giving poison resistance, which is absolutely marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. We're already making some progress on getting this room fleshed out, and once we've got all of the dragons ready to get in there and get their phylacteries all set up, then that's going to be absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look down here. We have got all of the dragons in place. Perfect. Right, well, what I would like you to do then is let's move you down here. There we are. And then we're going to grab you, move you in here. There we go. And finally, going to grab you and move you out. There we are. You are free to go, if you would like to. There we are. And now we can lock all of that up. Perfect. No more dragons to be made. Now, where we're about to go is effectively the end game dungeon. That's why I've saved it for last. There's a couple of interesting things that we're going to do there, but another kind of side effect of going to some of the other areas that we've been is that we may not need, there may be a need for us to wipe out our bandit group. But we may have lucked into possession of the items that we would normally have to kill our bandits in order to get by pillaging other dungeons. You may have already spotted them earlier on. We are going to need keys for a potential kind of end game, but mostly post game. As with most roguelikes, there's the way to end the game, and then there's the way to end the game with the best ending or the secret ending, so on and so forth. And Keeper Roguelike is no different. There are other things that you can do besides simply wipe out all of the main villains and kind of declare yourself the ruler of the land. And for that, you're going to want access to a very special area, and those keys are how you get access to it. Now, with everything else sorted out, we are going to need to make a couple of new vampire warriors, and because they aren't going to need to fly, they will have dragons for that. They aren't going to need darkness because they're going to have dragons for that. We can really look into a couple of things. Also, we now have a bunch of jewelry that they may be able to wear. So, first and foremost, given that they are going to have access to 5 balsams, we're going to want at least 1 extra head. I think 1 extra head is going to generally be enough for each one, but we're going to want 4 of them, because they're going to be 4 dragons. We're gonna take a very small team of extremely powerful units. I don't want to take a massive army. Ideally, everyone involved in the team is going to have a phylactery, but with our funds available, probably not. We are going to give them... Let's have a look down here. Where's the melee training limit? That's pretty much the main thing that we want to increase. And they're each going to have 1 extra head. I would actually like them to have extra arms as well. Let's go and find that. So that takes us down to 3 remaining. So I think giving them 3 melee buffs is honestly the best thing to do. So each one of them will get 3. So let's take this all the way up to 12. There we go. And that should take care of everything. We are going to have some crazy powerful vampire warriors. Each one of them will have a dragon steed. That will be a total of 4 bone dragons, 4 vampire warriors, and we're probably going to want to take our skeleton king and maybe our juggernauts. I'm a little bit concerned about our juggernauts. We'll at least take the 1 juggernaut there. So that juggernaut and that skeleton king will come along with us. But I'm thinking maybe we'll want to work on a couple of other things specifically. Might even want to make some more juggernauts. And if we have the bones, maybe some extra skeleton kings as well. And on that note, in terms of the extra skeleton kings, I think we need to perhaps start generating more bones. Much, much faster. And there is a way for us to do that. That goes straight down into the catacombs, sadly. Okay, fair enough. How about we do this elsewhere then? I don't really want to expose the base to potential danger. I wonder, could I build something out here? Perhaps, but instead I think we're going to build a wooden bridge all the way down and dig out a little area down here and then have a simple little room with a stair up. We're going to build ourselves a distillery over there, past the blood lake. I think that's going to be the best place. At this point, a lot of what I'm doing is just prettifying the base, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Now, I could also build a better area out here, a better defense area. I'm thinking having the guards right here, because honestly, if someone could sneak up along that wall, they'd be fairly close by. I prefer our archers to have a much greater range to attack them from. So we might have a look into that as well. But I've got a fair amount of work to be done. Have you finished with all of that? Oh, wonderful, you have. Truly, a very, very studious worker, Platinum Toast. Gets the job done very quickly. Right, for vampires, we want extra arms. We want extra heads. We also then want lots of melee training. All right, crack on then, please. You shouldn't be depressed anymore, so you should be able to get that work done rather quickly. Ah, the Slash and the Dragons, just enjoying themselves. How beautiful. We are probably going to want a sumptuous Cornthum, but this one to be upgraded. Thing with invisibility, grants blindness and grants invisibility. I'm not sure I really want someone to be blind whilst also invisible, but maybe a blind Lich Keeper who is always invisible, might not be the worst thing in the universe, if I'm honest. But instead, we're going to make it a spell. Double down on the spell power there. Now, we still haven't managed to... Ooh, green... Oh, no, there we are. Green dragon scale leather armor, sorry. We definitely want to grab the Infernite weapons if we can. And if we've got vampires, multi-arm attacks, having flaming swords would be absolutely marvellous. So let's go down and see what the progress is going like. Well, they're at least starting to work on it now, at the very least, so that's not terribly bad. It could be happening a little bit faster, but at least it is happening at all, I suppose. How are things going over here? Let's have a quick peek. Vampire Noble is depressed after creating his masterpiece. I guess glyphs automatically make them masterpieces. I mean, that's the only thing that I can really guess from what we've seen going on here. But I'm kind of surprised by it, if I'm honest. I suppose in one way it sort of makes sense, since it is a magical item, so all magical items are inherently masterpieces. But I think if we could get it so that they would just have a chance of making a masterpiece, then we might actually be able to get items that have, like, of damage, of defense, adjectives to them. Just by default, but right now we're kind of forcing the issue. Okay, I'm going to pass a little bit of time until our army is ready to go. I will also finish decorating the phylactery area as well, and when I bring you back, we should be ready to make our move. And welcome back to our new distillery, rather expanded as you can see. This is to encourage more and more and more rats to spawn. We've also now got a dedicated guard area here to deal with said rats so that they don't get out of hand. Now, there are two big advantages to this. One of them is obviously the amount of production and how much easier it is going to be to deal with the rats. But two, don't have to listen to them doing it anymore. That's probably the bigger of the two, if I'm perfectly honest. Now, in terms of our warriors, we'll say hello to Malachi Rizel, Encrypt the Second, and Isham the Second. Yes, we've gone through the name list and we've spun back around. Once again, thank you ever so much for your continued support, and welcome to the lair. You have a pretty respectable 51 total ability there. 33 plus 18 for melee, 33 plus 27 for defense. You are all kitted out in adamantium, and many of you have a bunch of extras, including jewelry. I've prioritized things that will give defense. Where possible, we just simply didn't have that many defensive necklaces, and where we could, we also included some regeneration. Wakefulness is a surprisingly useful one. They don't sleep, but their defense is increased by 1, and their morale is always high. Likewise with satiety. Morale is up, and defense is increased. So if we had less units, we could probably increase their defenses even further. Now, there is a reason to do that, and it's one of the reasons why the Skeleton Kings are so powerful, is that if your damage output is higher than, I think it's twice of the enemy's defense. So if, for example, you had 100 damage and the enemy had 49 defense, you have a disproportionately high chance to simply one-shot them if you attack. And likewise, I don't know the exact formula for defense, but if your defense is above a certain multiplier of the enemy's attack, so let's say if you've got 6 times more defense and they've got attack, then you simply ignore the attack completely. It does no damage. It doesn't roll to see whether you lost any HP or whether it critted a limb. In fact, undead are a bit of an interesting one in that they don't have a HP pool. The only way to kill an undead is to lop off enough body parts. And so they're really only vulnerable to crits, which is why they're such a powerful force. And the Skeleton Kings in particular, because they've got such incredibly high stats as a consequence of having so many parts added to them. But you may notice that we have a lot of items down here. Oh, you, get out. Come on. Shift it. Thank you. Right, it is time for us to make some new items. Now, sadly, we don't have anywhere near enough to make big, chunky weapons. I'm very tempted to make big, chunky weapons. Sadly, not going to be happening. So instead, we do have enough for 4 Infernite swords. Do we have... okay, so we don't have enough of the upgrade slots, but we do have a couple of twos. So we could have Glyphs of Bleeding, 30% chance of causing someone to just start bleeding. Equipment Destruction, 20% chance of causing the enemy's equipment to simply break down. Glyph of Fire would be a kind of a funny one. We're going to pop... While I am a big fan of a bleeding chance, I think we're going to have... 2 of them are just going to do some extra damage, and then we're going to get another 2 Infernite Swords that will, in fact, do bleeding. We have got Panic, plus 5 damage right there. Glyph of Darkness. You know what? In that case, let me get rid of that. We'll grab one of these, add the Glyph of Damage to it, and then grab another one. And that one can have 20% chance of causing darkness. I don't think we're going to go with that. I mean, grants darkness. There's something uniquely amusing about a glowing, smouldering, flaming sword that makes the place dark. Like, in my mind's eye, if that was something you actually saw, it would have some sort of weird mind-bendy effect. Your eyes wouldn't understand how to process what they were looking at. Something that was both bright but incredibly dark at the same time. I like this idea, but in the interest of actually making it useful, because we're hoping that our Hydra Dragons aren't going to die. So let's actually bank on that one. We can make one last sword, though, and perhaps we will. This one can be a Sword of Panic. And I think when said Sword of Panic is created... Oh, really? You went to sleep of all times, you scallywag. When that sword is created, that one's going to go to possibly Evil Friend. I think that makes an awful lot of sense. Now, at the very, very lowest levels, we are currently expanding out into a new area. We've found a couple of little bits here and there. Hither and yon. Over here was just a cave of bats, so it was nothing that we particularly needed to worry about. I'm still reshaping the layer down below because I don't like having misshapen rooms. I'm going to be honest. So we're slowly filling this little area out as we go. Right, now, let's head on back up. The phylactery is complete, as you can see. I would very much like some more gold, because more gold would allow us to get more phylacteries. I can at least afford some. So let's pop a phylactery right there. And this will go... Evil Friend and all of our dragons have already got everything. Once that phylactery is constructed for 500 gold... In fact, we can probably afford 2 and still have the bandits attack us. So let's go with that as well. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to give our vampire warriors... Encrypt the second. Go ahead, you may use the phylactery. It is permitted. And Isham as well. You may also use the phylactery. Go ahead. Now, is everyone up to maximum? Yes, they are. So they can now work on distilling as well if they particularly want to. And go into the guard zone as well. There we go. Right, we need one more. Malachi, have you equipped? You have not. Oh, what's happening there then? Well, you've got your max level. Why are you not the same as everyone else? Oh, you're drunk. Right. You know what? Sure. Yeah, no, that's fine. Not going to complain too much about that one. We'll wait for the phylactery to be used. But at this point, I don't believe we've triggered the bandits any longer, which is a bit of a shame. Honestly, a bit of a shame. Now, considering I've created this... It's not really a structure of any sort. It's just a pillar, really, around here that I just thought it would look a little bit nicer outside there. Also, I want to make sure that we are fetching items persistently from all of these tiles. We need some more archers. So let's go ahead and get some more archers. Now, I do believe I've made a lot. Yes, we're going to want about 10... Yeah, let's go for 10 archers. Let's get 10 of you done. And I would like each of you to have 2 greater ranged bonuses and balsams of greater defense. That being said, I could give you swarming. Ooh, now that becomes really, really obnoxiously nasty. And in fact, swarming would be the better one. So in that case, I'll give you one of range bonus, one of defense bonus, and then one of swarming each. You crack on. And in fact, we're going to do exactly the same. Again, let's get another 10 of those ready. Another 10 archery bonuses. Let's have a look at you. Where is it? Spell damage bonus, ranged damage bonus. Let's get that on the go. And we've already got the... Oh, actually, no, we don't need that. We need the defense bonus, sorry. So greater defense bonus. We'll already have the range bonus available. Wow, you did that work fast. My lord. You take your work very bloody seriously, don't you? Let's get out of there. And then... Nope. And let them all out. Go, go, go. There we are. And on that note, let's go ahead and make sure that they're all set up. You working in guard zone 3, and that is pretty much it. You enjoy. There we go. Now they should all stand out there, take care of everything, and there's plenty of weapons around. Well, soon. In fact, actually, I believe all the bows are more or less available for them to go and grab if they want to. I'm going to leave them to decide on that when and where, really. But having a bunch of archers outside, eventually this dungeon may be available to someone else to play. And I want to give them a devil of a time even getting to the dungeon, frankly. Right, we've got plenty more rats being slain up there. Our vampire workers are getting everything built. In fact, actually, in terms of the nobles, let's just have a quick look. You don't do distilling, but I believe everyone else should be. Yeah, everyone else is doing distilling. There we go, that's fine then. You're depressed after crafting your masterpiece, I'm sure you are. How many? Oh, have you finished them all? You have. Marvellous. Right, let's slide back up here then. And you go up there as well. Thank you. Let's lock that door and open this one. All right, now then. Thing with the swords. Let's have a quick gander. Now, obviously, this is a crazy amount of damage. If I take that away, though, but then I give you swords of damage, swords of bleeding. It shouldn't hurt my minion. They should be resistant to fire. They are not. Oh dear. Why is Evil Friend resistant to fire? Did I just misunderstand that? Oh. Only the vampire nobles are resistant to fire. Well now. That is unfortunate. Because I've just spent a lot of materials on these flaming swords. Poison resistant, can see in the dark. Alright. We might have to rethink this. I mean, the vampire nobles can happily equip them. And on that point, I really would like you to equip one. So I guess I'll go ahead and give you the major damage one. Crack on. All right. Well, that's a bit of a letdown. I'm not going to lie. Let's grab that. There we are. Do our skeleton kings? No. And the juggernauts? No. Okay, well, I guess the vampire nobles would be the ones to go for then. That I was not prepared for. Is the keeper resistant to fire? You are resistant to fire, actually. But you're also really, really powerful with magic. That being said, you don't actually know that many spells because you don't have a particularly useful spell school. So I'm going to give you a flaming sword as well. We'll go with a flaming sword of panic. Also, you really do need a better shield, my lad. Let's get you a better shield, shall we? You don't need that adamantium shield. No, no, no. Do you want anything? Maybe I should prioritize my keeper getting some stuff. Oh, there is a sword of fire resistance there. Alright, so one of our vampires can have it. Let's go with Encrypt 2. Encrypt 2, you are getting a ring of fire resistance from a zombie. Please go and grab that. Cracky on. I can give you 2 fire swords then, I suppose. Actually, let's find Encrypt. Have you grabbed it yet? You have not. I guess we're going to have to wait for a moment. Hopefully you will go and get it in a few seconds. And then I'll be able to give you 2 fire swords and an adamantium shield. I think that's going to give us possibly one of the better units for just raw damage output. We have our team already. And it looks like... Let's have a look. One of you is drunk. Again, there we go. Fire resistance. Perfect. Okay, so 2 fire swords for you. We will go with... honestly, we can just get 2 extra damage fire swords. I'm fine with that. And an adamantium shield. Adamantine shield. There we are. We will be good to go from that point onwards. Let's also grab some more skeletal archers. Another 10 should do quite nicely. These will have greater range damage one. Oh, have we not made them all? We have not made them yet. How uncommon. Oh, not really uncommon at all. That does make sense. My apologies. Right, crack on. Ah, my lord. Right, there. Oh, look at that. Now, that is actually kind of amazing. You've got a lower damage output, sadly. Are you also drunk? No. But you do have a lower damage output. It's to be expected, but you have higher defense as a consequence. Plus, you can parry, whereas no one else can. It's almost worthwhile taking the parry, taking just regular swords just for the parry, frankly. But okay, I think we're pretty much ready to go. I'm going to let time pass until it's actually nighttime. And then we're going to muster our forces and head out. I shall see you in a few moments. Okay, it is nighttime and it is time for us to go. Also, we now have a frankly silly amount of skeleton archers, 40 of them. And if we look over here, the bonuses that they're getting from swarming are somewhat obscene, I'm going to be honest. 40 bonus there, 43 there, and they're not even... Well, actually, this one is fully equipped, but not all of them are. They are... Very few of them are actually fully trained, though. But at this point, it is finally time for us to head on out. Now, before we go... Oh, you're actually in a good place. I need you to pick up some keys. 4 of them will do, I suppose. Yeah, sure, that'll actually work out quite well. Alright, let's wait for everyone to rally. There we go. Are the Bony Boys coming with us or not? I would have assumed they would. Are we not going to see them following the peeps that they're meant to? Oh, no, there's at least one. What about the others? Are the others sleeping? Oh, you're not. Okay, so I need perhaps to have the dragons in a group. Either that or just tell the dragons not to guard. I'd kind of rather not do that one, though. But since I know exactly which dragons it is, let's pull all of those down. Oh, can we not? Maybe we can't. Ah, dread. Okay, well, then in that case, let's make sure that they don't guard then for now. It's unfortunate, but oh well. We'll just turn it off for the time being, though, because I would ultimately like to make sure that they are guarding something at some point. There we go. Let's just control you to make sure it's stopped. There we are. Darth Raptor can happily stay there, though. Right, evil friend, let's grab you again. And let's get ready to go. Let's make sure all of the dragons head on down. There's another one. And we are waiting on one more that has decided to go and do something. Oh, is it going to dance? I'm not going to tell it not to dance, obviously. But I would really quite like it if you would join your master, please and thanks. No? They are all dancing. My God! Dealing with dragons! Oh, we need to train them, clearly. I'm going to wait a little bit longer. The main thing is at least most of the dragons are here. What is that final one, though? It might be that if we leave, it will follow, however. I do believe that someone has mentioned something to that effect in the past. But where is it, though? Oh, well, let's see if this works. Let's head on out to the unremarkable dungeon. Yes, they instantly arrived. Okay, so I may as well have just done that the first time. It's fine. Right, let's have a look around. Whilst night is on our side, let's uncover everything we can. This is a fairly large area. Let's go around the outskirts first. Then we'll swoop in, clear out the village. And then, no doubt, find the way down. Let's just have a peek in here. Thankfully, our Juggernaut did not do the stupid thing of trying to get over here and then... dragons are releasing clouds of black smoke. Also, our dragons can, of their own volition, decide to resurrect things. Honestly, this is amazing. The best of days. Right. Okay, let's head on down. Hi. I would sooner not have to deal with you, if I could be honest. There we are. I'm just going to open up all of the things. We've probably got a fair old way to go down here. I'm just going to let my companions do their thing. Let's smash our way through here. It is a bedroom. Very well. We have got some spiders down here. That shouldn't... I love that the dragon is dealing with that. Must be killed to conquer the tribe. It is ultra depressed, though. Let's continue on through. I'm going to switch spots. In fact, I might take control of... sure, let's switch leader. That way our vampire will probably give us plenty of buffs. And I can stop worrying about that. There we are. Gives night vision mushrooms around. I approve. Right, let's clear out this entire area as quickly as we can. The dragons breathing their black smoke. It's absolutely fantastic. However, actually, on that note, we may well want to use Evil Friend to pick all the corpses up. Yeah, we're going to have to, aren't we? Otherwise, we're not going to be taking these back. Not that it really matters, I suppose, thinking about it. Since this is probably going to be the last place that we go in this series. There are more things that you can do, but I want to leave some things to a bit of mystery. Though, if everyone is very set on seeing everything, then maybe we could do a final wrap-up episode going and trying to do some of the later items. Cyclops, legs, brain. Truly amazing. Some more glyphs. So many glyphs. Alright. I'm down with that, sure. Let's use the stairs and continue to explore. Hi. Another Cyclops. I approve. There we go. Right, so this is what we require the key for. Now, I believe the keys that we've picked up are the ones that we are going to be using. However, if not, then we can always go back and get some keys off the bandits, because that's typically where you get them from, the bandits. Oh, there was a bad in the way. Why is Evil Friend over there? What is Evil Friend doing? Evil Friend, you're not meant to be out there fighting by yourself, mate. You're very powerful, sure, but you're totally not a tank. You should not be out here doing things on your own. Please and thank you. Right, let's clear up everything around here. Now, obviously, this is an unremarkable dungeon, but anyone who's been paying close attention to the enemy list and also to the shrine of the evil god that we discovered may notice that the name is in fact exactly the same. We're going to be dealing with the high priest of our evil god. I'm not really sure why we're fighting them. Maybe it's just because they're a high priest of an evil god, I suppose. Maybe there's no honor amongst thieves, but oh well. Let's grab a little bit of all of this. Oh wow, all of the stuff from the Cyclops though. That was absolutely amazing. Let's grab everything. There we go. And, of course, the last couple of corpses. Honestly, having infinite carry capacity, such a good suggestion for our vampire. Okay, use portal. Portal is inactive. Okay, can we use the key? Let's have a look. Key. Apply. Portal is now active. There we go. So yeah, we didn't even need to do that. You've discovered the black market. Trading is now available in the villain UI. Oh, happy days. Oh my lord. So much stuff. This is a guard. Build bridges. Resistant to melee. Resistant to melee. I mean, we could probably wipe everything out down here, but we don't want to. We very specifically don't want to. There's a very important item around these parts. There are dragon scales, infernite ore, so many glyphs. Truly, this is amazing. Now, the main thing that we're going to want from here is actually an amulet. Which we will come back to. I'm not actually even sure that we're going to need it as a necromancer with a phylactery. But the amulet that we want is an amulet of protection against death. Because, look, like most roguelikes, you know, it goes a little bit anime after a while. First you start off just trying to build a dungeon and kill those pesky humans. It ends up with you deciding to build a Tower of Babel and heading to heaven to dethrone God. And protection against death, going to be kind of useful, considering death is on the hit list. But I'm not sure how that's going to interact with the phylactery and the need for like protection against death, because inherently we have it. We are undead, and we come back if we die. We'll see though. There we go. Let's find out what else is going on down here. Probably a couple of items here and there. This is a very squirrely area, but then the last big dungeon was as well, I suppose. We've still got a puzzle dungeon as well to check out, if there's interest, but you will have to let me know if that's something that you want to see. Can I get there? Thank you. I want to collect all these corpses. I do intend to bring every single last one of them back with me and build new and wondrous things. Oh, summon elemental. That might actually be useful. Look at all of the stuff I'm carrying. Oh, actually, on that note, are there any other rings? There are not. That's fine. We didn't even need to use all the keys. That's an interesting one. You go ahead and eliminate... well, the shapeshifter... It was a shapeshifter. Oh. Shapeshifter arm. What on earth would a shapeshifter arm look like? My lord. Let's grab all of these. We're getting lots of body parts very specifically, which I'm extremely, extremely happy about. Ooh, don't want to be the one panking you, if I'm honest. Thank you. That was a golem. Apparently, golems are... well, quite dangerous. The ones we fought, the adamantine golems, previously, that was ridiculous how fast we took them down. And in large part because we're quite far in the game at this point, and our forces are quite powerful. This is a clay golem. But understand that golems really are no joke, normally. They're not meant to be a joke, ever. But power of darkness, you know. We've got rather hard to kill minions. If these were fleshy meat bags that had health pools, I suspect those golems would have done a rather disgusting amount of damage to them. But thankfully, the combination of being resistant to dying simply from accumulated damage, instead needing limbs to be torn off, does give us a bit of an advantage, especially against slower opponents. Let's grab all of the corpses. So many body parts. This is really, really going to help our Skeleton King production. And let's head on further down. Hi. I'd really not like to die, if I could be avoided. Thank you. Black Naga corpse. Black Naga head. Ridiculously heavy things. Dwarves as well, probably also ridiculously heavy things. Right. Oh, da. Yellow Dragon. I am straight up not being a part of that. I will, however, give you all bonuses. Oh, you took them down. Well done, you. How did you die? Oh, I'm going to need to find out about that one. I feel ultra bad about it, actually. But okay. Yellow Dragon Wing. Oh, we're going to be able to make some fairly high-powered Skeleton Kings with all of this, I'm going to be honest. The amount of items we're getting from there. Have we lost someone from the pack? No, we have not. But we have... Someone dropped their helm. Has anyone got a damaged head? No. I suspect... one of our vampires lost a head and the helmet fell. But they grew it back. I suspect that may be the situation. So I might need to hand that helmet off to someone. In fact, let's just do a quick double check. You've only got, you've got 2 helms. So switching over to Rizel. 2 helms. The black, Rizel, the Black Naga Slayer. Well done. 2 helms there. Isham, the Peasant Slayer. 2 helms there. Yeah, all of you have 2 helms. Is it perhaps you? Curious. Oh, 1 lost head. Right, it was the Juggernaut. I didn't even think about the Juggernaut, but of course. Juggernaut lost a head. Unfortunately, Juggernaut does not grow heads back, so that's an end to that head for you. Ooh. Bleeding Totem. Let's not. Let's try and not be there anymore. Can I move? Please? No, apparently not. Can I blink? How's the skeleton bleeding? Let's get out of there as quickly as we can. Are you still bleeding? We've lost the Juggernaut, sadly. Let's see. You've lost a wing. I really want that bleeding totem. That would be fantastic as a trap in our dungeon. But okay. Let's all get down here. But yeah, we've lost the Juggernaut, sadly. I'm fairly certain we'd be able to bring down a skeleton to get that, though. So maybe at a later time. Right, we've got a zombie... Okay. The statue of the evil god Adoxy. And the High Priest Adoxy. I am totally not going to get in the middle of that. Apparently, though... Rizel, straight in there. Okay. The Zombie King's head is bitten off. The bone... That's marvelous. Rizel's Bone Dragon just bit the Zombie King's head off. And the Vampire Warrior swings their adamantine battle axe at the Zombie King. The Zombie King is cut in half. You keep it up, Rizel. I'm going to bring the others down. Rizel has just taken out 2 Zombie Kings. Rizel and their Bone Dragon. I mean, it is a Bone Dragon after all. But I'm backing out of this. That's a lot of potential damage because they explode. Let's switch all the way back. Go ahead. Get in there. The High Priest of Adoxy is destroyed. How did that happen? I think it was the Bone Dragons just breathing black smoke on them. You've conquered this land. You killed 1,116 enemies and scored 58,167 points. Thank you for playing Keeper Roguelike. 2,297 deaths, 102 cold-blooded murders, 477 chopped heads, 308 chopped limbs, 967 spells cast, 164 weapons produced, 613 pieces of armor produced. All right. Downloading online high scores. Okay, not too bad. We achieved world domination. Not bad at all. The child is disheartened. Look, okay, it might not be a utopia for you, but there's no reason for you to be all scallywaggy about it. It's an awesome time for us. When you're ready, retire your dungeon and share it online. Other players will be able to invade it as adventurers. To do this, press escape and choose retire. But there we are. Bone Dragon bites the Zombie King. The Zombie King's internal organs are ripped out. The Zombie King is killed. The child is disheartened. They really loved those Zombie Kings. They had fantastically fond memories. Why were the children down here, though? Oh. Well, look, okay? You were brought down here to be sacrificed, and now you're sacrificed. It's just a way of things. It is what needed to happen. Right, let's grab all of the bits, but that is it. And now there is a statue's head there. Now, again, like I said, there are other things that can be done, but pretty much it's all like post-game stuff at this point. We got their arm. That's nice. That would make a very nice Zombie King, I think. Okay, well, but with that, let's head on back. It is day for a little bit, but everyone should be okay because of the dragons. As long as they stay on the dragons, that's the main thing. So I'm immediately going to recontrol so that they remain mounted. Please tell me you are safe. Where are you going? No, 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 no! Not them! Damn it! I knew it. I knew it was too good to be true. Everyone needs to run away. Please don't kill. We're trying to farm them. They are important livestock. Bloodthirsty vampires. My lord. Okay, so the shenanigans continue, but we're going to try and flee without killing the bandit leader. As long as the bandit leader doesn't die, any amount of bandit deaths don't matter. The bandit leader is the only one that actually matters. If the bandit leader perishes, then no more migration to this population of bandits that we very, very much want to kill. Oh no, have we lost someone? It is so risky sometimes. I'm not sure if they died during the turn of sunlight that they were there, because I'm fairly certain we had all four when we arrived, but oh well. But that is going to be it for us. I think we're going to wrap it up there. I can't control the Bone Dragon anymore. You know what? Fine. Just going to let you throw down with them. It's okay. The Vampire Warrior's killed, but I believe they got pulled back. I do believe they got drawn back to their phylactery. So maybe not as bad. I mean, most of them were okay. That is going to be it. Our bandit farm has fallen. We would have had to have spent like another 600 turns before night in order to come back normally, but that's going to be it for me. I really do hope you have enjoyed this series, though, and should we come back, we'll show a couple of more things that you can do if you are thus inclined. Another vampire warrior kill. Really? Again? You died down there? Why? That's right. You should feel bad. They died because of you. Always give your vampire warriors some protection from darkness. That isn't a bone dragon. But on the plus side, at least the bone dragons didn't die. But that is going to be it for me for now. I really do hope you have enjoyed our foray into Keeper Roguelike, and a lot has changed since the last time we saw it. Maybe the next time we play, we'll play a different race other than the Necromancer, but that is going to be it for us for now. As always, looking forward to any feedback you have down in the comments. But until next time, do take care, everyone.